I love it to death. We're really busy. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so tell me what's kind of been going on today. Crazy day?
We started off this morning. It was 6:30 in the morning, and we had a 1010, and I think by 7:30 in the morning we had a signal 10, which means the officer needs assistance, and we've had 2 signal 2000s, which are escapes, and I think another signal 10 on top of that. So we've been really busy because all the people that are acting up out there have to come in here. Right now we've been releasing people all day to make room for the people that, the things that are going on today. He's actually getting ready to go too. That's why all his stuff's kind of dragged out. But
so is he going back into general population?
Yeah, he's going back to general population because I got to make room for the attempted escape that we had a minute ago. So we're constantly shuffling, and people sometimes get released a little shorter, but we do the best we can.
So what are some of the things you've come up against with the kids who are in SAG? What's their attitude like? What are their actions?
For the most part, most of them are pretty isolated. They want to be left alone and kept in their room. They just kind of like having their own little space, kind of territorial, I guess. Others, they act out because they're behind the door. It kind of gives them, it's actually a term called cage courage, where they tend to, because they know they're hiding behind the door and they're safe from any kind of recourse or anything, they can really act out, and it's, you kind of get the same effect when you put handcuffs on people. They'll be real compliant and everything right up to the point of you put those handcuffs or you put them behind a door, and then they just act like the toughest person in the world. And we run into a lot of that with them throwing things at us, and urine, feces, kicking the doors, etc. That's the overall general attitude. People have been down here for a while. They kind of learn, to get along, and we don't really have that much of a problem with them.
I actually heard there's also kids too who want to come to SAG because they're afraid for their safety in general population.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, this morning, that offender actually even admitted to me that he heard that he was going to be getting jumped today. So he runs out, jumps on the fence. It's a way to get protective custody without actually asking for protective custody. I'd say, if I had to put a number on it, I'd say 60% of these in here are really just forced protective custodies. They don't want to ask for custody. They just do something that will cause them to end up here, and they come down here for protection.
So were you here this morning when the first attempted escape happened?
Yep.
So tell me play that out for me. You're here, normal day, and then what?
Well, the call had come over for the Signal 2000, which is an escape, like I said before. Down there by E-Complex, I believe it's on the west fence. I guess one of them jumped on the fence. It was pretty, from what I understand, it was a pretty half-hearted attempt. That's on the other side of the facility. By the time I got out there, it was pretty much, they're already bringing him back to me. It was a pretty half-hearted attempt. I think he gave him a little struggle and ended up getting sprayed with the OC. And then they brought him here, and he acts relieved now that he is here. As a matter of fact, I believe it's his second time trying to escape in the last 2 weeks because he's having such a problem getting acclimated with the other offenders out there in GP.
Is he a new kid to the facility?
Actually, no, but he's new to that unit. He was in the sex offender unit. He seemed to be doing fine there. Then he got kind of like promoted out, and he went to the military unit, and it didn't work out for him. So then they moved him into one of the other general population units. And I think he's having a hard time getting accustomed to the other offenders in there. Or maybe they're having a hard time getting accustomed to him.
Which one is he?
He's out here, yeah. Felder, I'm gonna get you out of here in just a minute. You want to speak to him? Let me get out of the way.
Hey, how are you? Good. So I hear we had a little incident this morning, huh?
Which one? Hitting the fence?
Hitting the fence. Tell me about hitting the fence.
Well, after waiting on placement all so long, there wasn't really much for me to look forward to. So trying to find some way of getting out.
So did you think about it ahead of time, or did you just spur of the moment?
I hit the fence last Saturday, too. Almost made it over that time. Wasn't really paying attention during this time. Just walked over there and ran for the fence.
So where were you coming from? Kind of talk to me about where you were coming from and what you actually did, because we didn't see any of it.
Well, I was coming from down here at first, over there by E Complex where the basketball court's at. I took off all the way down there and tried getting over that first fence, and then got pulled down by staff as PRT. Not Patterson, but Guy and Freeman. If they wouldn't have been there, I probably would have gotten over.
But there's all that razor wire.
I'm not scared to get cut. Wouldn't have been my first time. I've cut myself before getting over that fence.
That doesn't bother you?
Not at all. I'm used to so much pain from early on in my childhood. It's just a small scratch. I could have a gouge from here in my arm down to here, and I'm just going to look at it like, wow.
So obviously, you haven't had it very good for a long, long time.
Nope. Most of my life has been torture and everything else. So.
Since you were little?
Yep. Ever since age 4.
Do you remember all of it?
Most of it. Some things I can't remember, but for the most part, yes.
So it all started at home?
Yep.
Is that what led to your problems in getting in DOC?
Well, I spent from age 10 to 12 in a state hospital for mental problems because I guess I was going off and doing a lot of stupid stuff out of nowhere.
Like what?
I'd wake up and act demented, just going around tossing stuff. I was constantly in rages, so they just put me in for it.
Do you remember going into rage?
Not really. Usually I blacked out.
So what did your family do this whole time?
When I was in there, they were basically celebrating that I was gone and not tearing things up. They were sort of happy that I was in there getting help. Granted, getting a shot in the rear end isn't too helpful. Being thrown in a room after that and then strapped to a board. Nothing to look forward about that.
So how did you end up in the Department of Correction?
I ended up getting locked up at age 13. From there, I messed up by getting in a lot of fights at school while I was at placement, which got me terminated from there. From there, went back, went over to White's, threatened my caseworker. They kicked me out for that, and now I'm here. Been here for the past 3 years.
3 years?
Yes, 3 years. I've been here when the facility had no razor wire, the fences were shorter. The facility was actually calm then. You might hear a 10-10 once every 2 weeks, but now you basically hear it every day.
So how is it being around all these other kids? I hear,
Down here?
No.
On the unit, it can be good at times depending on what unit you're in. If you're in the unit I'm in, there's a high possibility you get jumped every week. Such as my case, since being over there for 2 months, I've been jumped 17 times.
Why do they jump you?
I have no clue. I mean, they say it's because I'm opening my mouth and telling staff. I haven't said anything to staff. I mean, word gets around by word from other people, and then it comes back and haunts that other person later.
So are you scared when you're in that unit?
It's not that I'm scared, it's the fact I have to watch and constantly protect myself.
So would you rather be locked up in Seg than on
Yes, I actually would.
that? You'd actually what?
I'd rather be down here than on the unit. I mean, why would you want to be on a unit where you're getting jumped constantly? I mean, I've been asking for a reclass for a while now. But then again, I've been waiting on placement for 2 years.
They can't find a placement for you?
Because of all my mental history from the past, no placement will accept me now.
And home isn't an option anymore? You can't go home?
I'm trying to look into going with my pastor right now. If he won't accept me, then I'll have to take it into legal hands with my stepmom.
Do you want to go home to your stepmom?
Yes.
Does she want you home?
Yes. It's
So
the
she would
fa-
be willing to take you if you got released from here?
Yes. I mean, if I could get placement with her, I'd be more than happy to go. It's just my mom doesn't want me to. She has something against my stepmom and has for the longest time. So the way I look at it, if I can get placement with her, I'll leave.
What about a dad? Any dad in the picture?
Dad's in prison right now. Michigan City prison.
Michigan City.
Yes.
That's pretty
I mean,
hardcore.
My brother and sister decided to blame something on him, so he has to serve a 70-year sentence.
70?
Yes. I mean, we're looking at getting a court date since we found new evidence pointing to his innocence. If our case works out properly, he'll be next year.
What was he accused of? What was he?
Sexual misconduct with 2 minors.
Have you had any conversations with him at all since you've been locked up?
Nope.
No letters? Nothing? What about with your mom or your stepmom?
Stepmom. I mean, she'll have contact with him all the time and let me know what he says, but that's about it.
When was the last time you talked to your mom?
About 3 weeks ago, after I got jumped.
What'd she say?
Well, she was kind of surprised that I got jumped, but she didn't really have that much to say. I mean, she just wanted to hear how I was doing, how things were going, things like that.
So final words about being here, being in SAG, being locked up, period.
It sucks. I mean, it's not something you want. I mean, you're spending your life with a bunch of kids that don't know how to control themselves. What's the point in that when I could be out freely, being able to basically do what I want? Sleep when I want, eat when I want, eat what I want, instead of living by a diet. I mean, you can either lose weight here or you can gain weight. You shouldn't have to be able to go order something in order to eat. You should be able to just go out to the store and get it, go back home and eat. So being locked up, it just sucks. That's basically
Well, thanks for talking to us. Appreciate it. What was your name again?
Kenneth Howell.
You're 16.
Huh? I'll talk to him. You just got down here today. You're not getting any. But you're still out. You know what I'm saying? We'll get you tomorrow. I'm gonna find out. They're gonna interview several people.
Yeah, Miss Nancy told me to interview you. You know, when he...
What you need, a bag of ice? What a bag of ice do?
Ace bandage.
Huh?
Ace bandage.
Ace bandage.
Oh, yeah, that's
Can't have no
just...
ace bandage in it.
Oh, shit.
Huh? I'll come back and talk to you in a minute.
What? Rick.
Attention all PNJ staff, hold on movement, prepare for count.
Yes, sir. Huh? They will.
Walker told me advised E14 followed by E15 en route to unit dining hall. So switch them on out.
Am I going to open a count time? You don't wait that to count it.
38, 20.
What? Welcome, Kenneth. I hope I can love
coming out together, but this will be the list.
Okay.
And I gotta go through some stuff over the school, and this is the little, these guys.
3, 3, 3, 1.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Doing better?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need Woods out. I need a phone call for him to his mom.
I won't come out with it.
Should be fair and wit. Which cage you want the last one?
20, 0, advised to walk away. 38,
Oh, they could at least give you something to do my hair with.
I got it.
She needs 12 out for a phone call. Taking his jumpsuit and putting it in the toilet. Only thing to stop it is to shut the water off. So that's what I did, and he's getting mad about it. He'll have it off for the rest of the day. Probably on a 24 to 48 hour restriction because of it. Sacks, the whole 9 yards. Here in a minute, we're going to start rec at 14. Okay? You started over there, right?
We started with one this morning, I believe. I still got 2 kids over in school. What time is it, Ben? 5 to 11. We have only 3 is on the schoolroom right now.
Kennedy, 31.
Here's a good one of graffiti. West Side, Indianapolis, Hallville. You got verses all the way around the room. Hard part, West Side, B side. Broken radio. I get mad sometimes, break them. Here's what we got: a covering of the cameras, what we have to worry about, watch out about. Here's one thing you gotta look for. You make a homemade dice. Hallville. Then you gotta watch out. Some of these rooms. Hopefully they fixed it. You can turn the lights on and off.
Yeah.
Nothing, sir.
All right, man.
Hey, you think I should bust that out? What happened last night? Hey, my mom, I swear for Jesus.
You gotta see this phrase.
Everything I stand for.
Born to be hated, dying to be loved.
Hallville. It's a little area in Indianapolis.
And I'm gonna get you disrespectful. That's the little area. He's like, I don't give a fuck. You should already know what I am anyway. I'm not even what I say I am. I got like, no.
Again. I got it off.
Man, what the fuck you is? He said, I said, stop it, it's true. He said, on my sister's head, on my little sister's head, or anything I stand for. And I was like, so you a vice lord?
If you believe the bullshit that she's telling you, fucking nuts.
See, no! 7 years coming up to the 17th, people will get battered. There's no, and little dope boy here will batter some people. There's no, I'm down here. There's no. Shut up! Black power, bitch! Shut up! Black power!
Shut up, Winger. We'll break your fucking jaw, fat bitch. You guys want a real interview? Don't fucking listen to her. You're gonna get a lie most of the time. Personality my ass, man. If you're believing this bullshit, it's like believing the back of my fucking shirt. You don't say shit. That's retarded. Hey, look. I'm a 3-year veteran. Let me tell you how this place really goes. Let me really fucking explain this shit to you. They tell these kids what they want to hear, then they turn around and fucking lie to them. They fucking tell everybody else something different. These bitches are liars. What? I don't fucking know. I ain't seen them. They better not interview me because I'm gonna tell them the truth.
There's never enough.
These motherfuckers are going ape shit to listen to her. Hey, Evan, tell them to come interview me. Tell them to interview me. Evan.
I want to do a quick pickup with Stedman because he was here the last time.
Okay.
I'm going to do a quick pickup with Stedman because he was here last time.
just want a single camera on that,
He
yeah?
ain't talking shit like that ugly motherfucker did yesterday. Hey man, this man came to my door talking shit yesterday.
All this shit is fake.
Hey man, come here man. What? I talked to his bush. He's trying to fucking beat around the bush.
Stop talking to me like that.
Courtney! Where's Courtney at?
5 days, 6 days. Oh, in this facility.
Captain Warning! I see you motherfuckers!
Well, guess what the hot girl bought?
3, 4.
And I just made
Captain Warning, I see you!
2 months ago.
Okay, so why'd you get involved in all this dumb stuff?
I really didn't, but still.
Got room 7.
I'm trying to do my program.
man.
I don't guess. You really didn't get involved in it?
Yeah! So what the fuck I'm
You
talking
really
about?
didn't get involved in it? You
Certain
sure?
niggas we ain't playing.
I'll talk to you.
My dad needs to get home bad, man. Out there with GP. Shit like that. And stuff like that, man. But if I do my program, I couldn't get in trouble.
Not up to me.
Who's up to?
Not up to me.
Who's blessing you?
Actually, it's up to a group of people.
I got the real shit.
I wouldn't support that. Because you need to function in general population.
If I do my program down there, it'd be a lot easier.
You need to function in
That'd
general
be
population.
one last hassle you got to put up
You
with that.
have to function on your city block, right? So you need to function here in general population.
Hey, who's up to the good program failure? Program failure.
There's no such thing as program failure here.
Man, I'm a program failure times 10 though, man. Let's just start it back up. I'll be the first one gone.
There is no such thing as program failure.
Well, until they meet me.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
You ain't gonna come down here tomorrow.
Yes, I will.
Or you gonna call me down there?
No, I'll come down here and talk to you tomorrow.
It was open when you came.
Look, it's not supposed to be.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, Captain.
I'm talking to.
Hey.
What's up, man? I got my hair.
Still?
Yeah. Got my hair cut about a week ago.
Good. How close are you getting out of here?
I go up 18th, man.
So how do you like to play?
18th for release?
Yeah.
Cool.
He told me to go all set up and stuff, so I'm going home.
Good. Good. I'm glad you're going down.
I got a job on that little construction gig working with one of my cousins or something.
Cool. Whereabouts?
Livingston, Monroe County. So like 20 minute drive back from my mom. So I got, like when you're born, your grandparents, some little trust fund. I got enough money buying nice little cars.
Good. Good. So you're coming to ARC the 18th. I look forward to seeing you. Be clean shaven. Okay. See you later. Take it.
Captain Warning.
Yes, Mr. Howe.
You doing all right today?
Huh?
You doing all right today?
Oh, yeah, I suppose. How come you keep running at the fence?
Yeah, I'm tired of getting jumped.
Running at the fence ain't gonna help you any.
I'll be back down here.
Huh?
Second time in what, 7 days? No?
Still running at the fence is not gonna help you any. That's not what the issue is. Let's stop doing that and let's start talking about what the problem is. Okay?
If we could have a meeting somewhere.
Huh?
sometime.
Well, we probably can.
With Miss Blessinger, possible.
Possibly.
If we can have her, Miss...
Miss Walker, possibly. Miss Roberts, probably.
If we could talk to Mr. Johnson, I'd be more than happy to be in his unit.
We already tried that, didn't we?
He was willing to work with me. It was Mr.
Yeah,
Zorn
Captain
who wanted to
Warning,
give me
what's
the
up,
book.
buddy? I see you.
I mean, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to accept me back.
Don't worry about it. He's going to have to head my way in a second. I see you.
Well, we'll see. But in the meantime,
Power, buddy. I need to speak
running
with
and
you,
grabbing the
buddy.
fence is not going to help your situation a bit.
I was at the top before I got sprayed. After having stuff dangling on my legs.
You know what's going to happen? You get caught up in that concertina wire? Oh, stay away from it.
love you, Mr. Griffin. Old times, buddy.
Okay.
Got the
No,
word,
here,
man.
I've gotten over it before.
Hey, I'm a good man, Warren. Come here, man.
I
Okay.
almost cut myself. All you have to do is reach your hand right between, slowly grab right between the
Man,
gap.
I see you, man. You're
Hold
right
yourself
there. You're
up.
right, man. I
Keep your
fucking see
feet
you,
strong
man.
grip where your knees are bent. Just flip yourself forward.
Yeah,
Let
I
it
think
go.
come here.
Right over.
Okay. We'll talk. Okay?
Come here, yeah. 35 minutes. That's what I'm talking